there, you're watching and listening to another Scoutcast on www.fantasyfootballscout.co.uk, and my name is Mark.
My name is
my name is Jonty.
Are we ready?
I knew that was going to happen.
You know I'm always second.
I know, but then
let's let Granville actually.
I thought we were going to be like, at the end, like a special guest star.
I'll start again. My name is Mark.
Go on, Jonty.
No, you go.
My name is Granville.
My name is Jonty.
My name's Andy.
My name's Az.
Welcome, gentlemen. Granville, you only come back. It's a glory. You got 70 points. And you come back on. We got loads of listeners last night. Like 35,000. Someone's been watching this, Granville, and listening. What's going on? It's just crazy. And now you're on. It's going to shoot. It's going to go through the roof.
No, I think I'm going to send them off. I think I'm going to send them off. That's the thing. I saw your viewing figures for last week. I thought I've got to get a bit of this.
Exactly, that's it. You just want a bit of the limelight, doesn't he? Jonty, well, someone's listening and watching is scary, isn't it? I thought we could just talk nonsense and it didn't really matter, but obviously not. We've got to be careful now.
I know. I think you just said earlier that it was somewhere around 34,000 tuned into the last one. Wow. So that's quite a lot. And
special circumstances, though. Start of the season, I guess.
Yeah, but let's downhill if we can maintain it.
Yeah, no. Welcome, Az we just realised you've never been on the Scoutcast with Granville.
No.
First time. Wow.
Exciting, isn't it?
But it's like a Superman Clark Kent.
Yeah. So no arguments between you two. I might have to. On my screen, you're being separated by Jonty, so you should be all right. I'm sure you'll get along fine. Andy, welcome to the Scoutcast again. 79 points.
Excellent week for me. Yeah, it just putting a bit of faith in Man United. Mkhitaryan came through for me. It was a bit of a last-minute decision. I almost had Zaha, which I know a couple of you guys have got.
Yeah.
And I ended up just going with Mkhitaryan. And I was basically Zaha or Richie. Sorry, Zaha and Richie, or Atsu and Mkhitaryan. And I went for the latter in the end. So, yeah, double Saints defence. Kind of everything worked out this week. Probably the either the best or second best start I've ever had, I think. The only time I remember it being like this was when Malouda and Drogba were at Chelsea, so a long time since I had a start like that.
That's going back years.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the rank? Where are you?
Well, someone told me I'm actually 50th in the world.
What?
Because, so you're saying there's only about 128 scores in total, so my score was the 50th highest, joint 50th basically. So that's what I'm going with, 50th.
No, you're not serious. You can't be. With 79 points.
No, 324k.
Right, okay.
Really.
Oh, it was a joke.
Right.
No,
okay.
I won't stay here and explain it. He's basically saying there's only a certain amount of scores because it's game week 1. So it's not on the joint scores. So it's 50th, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the 50th score, of the 50th highest score, but you're 300,000 in the world. Is that what you're saying? This is all very complicated. It's too late in the night.
At the start of the show, 324,000 I am ranked, yes.
Yeah.
Let's give a shout out to a guy who's in one of our leagues. He got 113 in our league, in our work league.
Yeah, I know. I saw
113. He got overall rank 196. I just thought I'd mention it before I forget.
Yeah, but it's Jack Peachman.
Outstanding.
He's no beginner. He's a fancy man. He's a football manager. Yeah, he knows his stuff. Jack does.
Oh, that's how I've got competition there.
Oh yeah, don't.
Well, for second, of course, because you seem to win it every year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. No, he's had a very good start indeed. Yes, I don't know. Jonty comes crashing in, starts doing shout outs. What's he going to want to get? Shout out to my auntie. It's her birthday.
It's very Radio 1 1970s.
It is, isn't it? Well, I'm not Steve Wright, Jonty. This is like ridiculous. Okay, let's go down the list. 79 for Andy. 70 for you, Granville. So you're next. You turn up. Strange that. It turns out when you had a good game week. Go on and talk us through it.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. Someone's actually just posted up on YouTube. I only sing when I'm winning, which is probably not right. What went right? I think actually the choices between Salah and Mane went right, and Ali over Kane went right, and what was the other one? There was a couple of things that went right. Some things went wrong. I had Alonso at the back. He got a big fat 0. I expect him to score a bit better over the next few weeks. And Lukaku captain like everybody else. So, yeah, pretty happy with that. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, Jesus, obviously, there's a choice, Jesus or Aguero. I guess that's the one that went wrong, but it's just for a week. I think Jesus had
you're all right there.
Several chances, and I think he's going to score well.
Yeah,
I went for the cheapy midfield, though, this time. I've actually got 3 cheap midfielders. Atsu, Fair, and Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek is sitting on the bench every week. But I think it's all right because I couldn't see. I mean, the alternative was Zaha, and I didn't really. I think a lot of people were getting him because they're a bit more expensive than Atsu and Fer and Richie. But I didn't. I just thought he was a little bit overpriced, so I just went for. I've actually got wing backs at the back. I've got Danilo, Alonso, and Kolasinac. Okay. So I've gone for a bit of attacking the attacking wing back. So
yeah, very very fashionable.
See that works.
Yeah. You're not worried about Danilo. I had Danilo till about 20 minutes before the deadline, and then swapped him out for Scott Dan, the defender man who fired over from 7 yards out. Very annoying.
Yeah.
I bottled that because I didn't want Danilo going into this game because I thought, well, Sané could play left wing back, and you know.
I think he's got. I think he will play. I mean, I think there's obviously Mendy to come back, but who's to say whether Danilo will be the one to drop out? I mean, Danilo can play left or right side.
Yeah.
I guess you'd expect Walker to play, and Mendy's not fit yet, so I think he's got a few.
Oh yeah, you've got another week in him, but then I think the doubts will creep in, and then I don't know. I just didn't want that. But rather than that,
he played tonight, didn't he? Against he played tonight against that Pep's brother.
Yeah.
Pep's brother was saying the weirdest friendly ever.
Yeah, it is odd, isn't it? All these teams talk about fixture congestion, and they stick a friendly the second game of the season.
I know.
Yeah, Anfield a very strong team as well, I noticed. But anyway, okay, that's very good. John T next with 68 points, same as myself. Talk us through it, John T. I mean, that's all right. You'll settle for that, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, that's for game week 1. As we were saying last week, game week 1, expect the unexpected. Weird things happen, and they did. But luckily, lots and lots of players that we've been touting on the site did well, and well, hey presto! So we backed Lukaku. I said Lukaku was my captain as soon as he moved to Manchester United, and sure enough, he delivered.
We all went with that, though, didn't we?
Yeah,
surely.
we all went for that. I got a nice set of clean sheets. Lots of people got a nice set of clean sheets. I got Stevens, Stones, and Foster. I got a bonus point from Aki. Now it's only 1 point, but I mentioned that because he was on the losing side.
I thought you would mention it.
And we're going to mention him later because we were saying on the Scoutcast he is a bonus point magnet, and so it was proved because people were saying, why did he get it? You don't need to know why. All you need to know is simply he is a magnet.
Well, I need to know why. I need to know. I need to explain it to people.
A bit later, I will explain a bit why.
Because
Granville were like this. I've got a new table on the block. Ready to explain Aki. Salah, I got in over Mane. Zaha, injured. Annoying. We'll come to Zaha later. Lots of us. Zaha. Gabbiadini took a punt on. We'll come to him a bit later. Will I stick with him? And Richie's the other one who's got a bit to prove there. So all in all, I'm fairly happy with it. It's only really
for that. Have you got a Zaha exit plan? Have you got it ready for later?
I have. Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay.
Sort of. Yes. You might better talk me out of it, but I think I've got one. Yeah.
No, I'll be interested to know what it is. We haven't conferred. No. We've had we've been locked in separate rooms. Scientific conditions.
I sent you virgin notes today without my added tables and notes in. So
complete. I'm clueless. Not for the first time. As 58 wooden spoon. Are you all right with that? I mean,
do you know what? I always have a rough game week 1, and I always end up wildcarding around game week 3. But do you know what? I'm actually quite happy with my team. I mean, score aside. Actual, playing wise and shots wise, I went 4 at the back. All 4 defenders look good. Van Aanholt taking corners, playing wing back. Alonso had loads of shots. Daniels always attacking, looks good. And Kolasinac, who's just an absolute tank. So I'm more than happy with those 4 at the back. I had Rodriguez, who should have scored. De Bruyne, who should have got an assist. Kane, who should have scored. I'm looking at the team and thinking, if I was to wildcard, I'd want all these players anyway. So terrible score, but happy with the team.
No, I think that's an all right score, and you're spot on. I mean, Rodriguez was very unlucky. Thing is, he only got 45 minutes. He was still on the pitch second half, but he might as well have not bothered because West Brom just completely shut up shop the minute they scored. But first half, he looked really good, and he really was unlucky not to have scored.
Rondon doesn't help him.
No, Rondon got a bit shirty quite literally. He threw his shirt down, didn't he? So we've heard. But yeah, I mean, he'll move. Yeah, when he starts, he'll move out to the right probably. But I don't know. But there's plenty of options in the 6 million bracket. Probably touch on that later. But PVA corners, what's going on there? He's like punt. John Jason's not taking any corners now.
I know. Well, since I can't go back to Jason Punch this season, and maybe it's got back to him. And maybe he's just thought, well, look, you know, if the dullard Jonty hasn't even bothered to get me in, so I'm not going to bother to take corners. So
I'm looking for the figure, but I think it's gone. I've got it in the shed here somewhere.
Still there.
Yeah,
Needs recycling.
Yeah, but Van Aanholt's taking all the corners, like right and left as well.
Which defender isn't though? That seems to be like.
I know.
Last year was the year of the wing backs. Now it's the year of defenders taking corners. They're all over the place.
Yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, right and left.
Yeah, and he's just cracked in a free kick tonight. 4.5 million.
Yeah, Ben Davies, and you got Bertrand took 4 corners as well. It very odd. I mean,
Yoshida took a free kick as well.
Yeah, you should. So have teams pre-season gone? I tell you what. Fullbacks can take corners because they should be able to cross a ball, and we want more attacking players around the box. Maybe that's it. Maybe it is.
I think a lot have got new managers. They've seen him in training, and I remember towards the end of last season, there was. Well, you follow Southampton on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, and there were lots and lots of clips of Yoshida absolutely hammering in free kicks, and you just thought, gee, wow, he's looking really good. And I guess the new managers come in and go, hang on a minute, this guy's great, and the new managers, you know, he's come in at Palace as well. He's looked at Patrick Van Aanholt, and he's, you know, he is, you know, much more of an attacking player than a defender. Listed as defender, but really, he's like a bad winger. Really, I mean, that's how you should view him.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how. If you get, I've got Patrick Van Aanholt's CV here, and it actually says Patrick Van Aanholt born on bad winger occupation,
bad defender, bad winger, kind of just field him somewhere in the middle, and then give him some set pieces.
Yeah, I wonder what Jason's doing. I mean, he must be at a loose end, mustn't he? Because he can't. He's not really going to get in the box, is he?
To be honest, he's probably on the toilet now, Jason Patchen.
Well, I don't know. I don't know him as intimate as you, obviously. But, I don't know. But yeah, set pieces were a feature, and no one can defend them. I've noticed that. Yeah. It was a shock that a 6'5" centre back scored a goal from a set piece of West Brom. Yeah. I had to have a sweet cup of tea when that one went in. I didn't see that coming. Really should have got a goal.
I think it was his first goal ever in his career or something.
Yeah. But when he turned up for the first training session at West Brom and they did 4.5 hours of set pieces, he must have started rubbing his hands. Surely. So yeah, it was like, we'll do 5-a-side for the last 10 minutes, guys. Come on, right? But yeah, it was no shock that he converted that. He is a giant, isn't he? A lot of people getting on. I mean, he's had a price rise, top point scorer in the game week, but don't know if he'll keep his place because they're shopping for Ben Gibson as well. Like, I don't think Pullers can play 6 centre back, but he might try and find a way. But yeah, I don't know.
The rumours are that they're about to sell Chadley to Swansea.
Yeah, because he passes the ball and he's got a little bit of flair about it.
I mean, it's like someone brought it up last week about we were talking about West Brom attackers, and I was saying why you should never get them because. You might as well not bother because the actual West Brom attackers are the 2 massive blokes in the centre back, and as has proved the case, you got Higazi.
No, that's not fair to Brunt and Phillips. Who I mean, their delivery.
They supply. Good, they supply the.
They're signing Barry, so they're going to have a bit more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Barry would have cost 20 million, so they're going to have a bit of spare change. Yeah. And so they could be getting more. I mean, to be honest, what Pulis would be like, you know, Gibson in attack. You got Gartsy, you know, number 10. You know, just really full the whole squad just with centre backs and just forget all these other flair players.
Well, we're knocking Tony, but he got the 1-0 win. Yeah, I mean, Brunt and Phillips are accessories to the crime, basically. That's it. And then you got Dawson and Higazi. They're the real criminals. But no one can handle it. And you just think, well. I think Eddie Howe says that they're going to get a lot of set-piece goals. So there's a message for us, perhaps. And I am. We'll talk about Zaha replacement and exit strategies later. That will come up.
Is there any chance of Johnny Evans being fit this season?
No,
I think he got an injury, didn't he? Just before the start of the season. But Evans, Macaulay. I mean, he didn't even come into my reckoning.
No,
I know he's
injured
now,
at the moment.
Yeah, but he didn't. You know, and his ownership is really low. I mean, how long's he out for?
He'll be out till after the international break because he's out of the international. So it'll be game week 4. He might come into contention, but then I don't know if he's going to get in. The thing is, if they get Ben Gibson, he's surely going to play Gibson and Evans as his first choice at that point. So Evans is class. He's got to play. He's got to play Evans. So and then Dawson will be right back. So I don't know. I don't know where Ghazi fits in. Okay, let's. We've got Rufford and Smooth, Jonty.
Yeah. We've got some.
Let's hear all about it.
Let's go with the smooth ones first. So one of them is Luke, who was in last week, and he was saying he was going to treble up on Saints defence. He indeed did. And lots of people listened and they followed his advice. So Team Cruel, Koki Smurf, and Thunder 66 UK all joined Luke as the Triple Saints Defence Club. Zoomers Bloomers, I actually picked him just because of his name mainly, but he also he picked Steve Mounier from Huddersfield. So yeah, great move there. Lanzini is the new Payet. He got 92 points. Got Xhaka in. That punt played off. He was listening to Andy.
Out at this point
he was given Andy's Fancy Island Risk.
Yeah.
Listened to it. Thought, hang on a minute, I'll have a bit of that. Zaha was in fact his only out of 11 players to blank. And Roy's call around, talk about having a great game week. He's been knocking around FBL for a while, but
he's top of the members league, is he?
He's top of the members league, and it's his highest ever single game week, 106 points.
What? He's gone back in does he know this? He's gone back in his history and checked, does he?
He said, yeah, a highest ever single game week.
That's strange. We had a 150-point game week last year.
Yeah, but he might not have got that.
No, but that was a double game week. He means single game week, yeah,
okay.
like a non-double. And I must admit, I don't think I've ever got.
Where in the world is RCA then?
I don't know. He didn't say, but he's very, very high up. And Zaha once again is only fail. He's also top of the top 1,000 any season mini league. So he's got pedigree there. Could win it. Never know.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, if you're experienced and you start like that,
if you're experienced, you start like that. You could stay there.
Well, Mark, your worst ever season, you actually started off with a 100-point game week.
I had an absolute storm in the game week.
So, Roy's call around will just be like turning the volume down at that bit.
No, but he won't not listening. He's not that silly. He won't not get Ramsey or Toure. This year's Ramsey and Toure.
Speaking of rough, Jay, Captain Kane. Well, he had a Iwobi in his side, and then he had Jesus and Kevin De Bruyne. So all his heavy hitters completely blanked. No Liverpool attack. 4 yellow cards. And he did so bad. He's actually out of Torres Magic's last man standing competition in the first round. Which I've gone out of that in about game week 8 or 9, and that was pretty bad. But game week, wow. Okay, so Jay's not done well. And Mauricio's Cappuccino, he just captained Zaha. Just put that in because we got a lot of questions on Zaha.
A risk for game week 1.
A risk that could have paid off, but it didn't.
That is way more maverick than game week 1.
Yeah.
We touted that on the Scoutcast last week.
Zaha?
Zaha.
Kind of.
Right. Okay. So can he blame you for that?
I think we said he was our favourite 7 million mid.
Yeah. I mean, he got injured. It's not. I mean, if he'd have just, he didn't do much, but he showed promise. And but if
he should have
he's got injured, you can't. It's like saying, "Oh God, I can't believe they recommended Lukaku just to get injured."
I mean, people should blame us for everything.
Do blame us.
Of course. Yeah. Well, that's what I'll do.
To be fair, Iwobi was in the differentials. I kind of, when he wasn't on the team, I was like, sorry guys.
Now we've got a lot of questions, and we're still getting more and more questions on the YouTube chat that's going on about Zaha. Mention Zaha.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
They're hungry for Zaha news.
I've got an exit plan. I've got it here in front of me.
Me too. I bet you our ones are the same.
I know this is what I think.
It could be.
The fact that you said.
Can I guess what they are?
No.
If yours is we'll get it. We'll do a big reveal.
No, we've got to build up to it. Right? It's like the dance of the 7 veils, basically. Bit by bit, a little bit of a tease.
But substantially less sexy.
Yes, definitely. Well, it's me and you involved for a start. It's never going to be sexual, is it? Well, I don't know. There was that night. Anyway,
it's got
weird. Okay, let's get round to the questions. Go on.
Right, Hurricane and Karen 14 just put it like this: who is the best Zaha replacement?
Oh Christ, we're on it now, are we? That's on it straight away.
No, we're just going to go straight in with the questions here. Sailboats. Now, similar theme here. He's got Fabregas, the same price player that's not going to play next. And that fantasy guy says with the Zaha injury, where now we were touting it last week. Let's all save our free transfer. What's happened to that theory?
Oh, it's gone well. You get an injury like this.
It's gone.
Yeah, let's put this one out there first. I fully wanted to save my transfer. The minute I know Zaha, we don't know yet, do we? It's not. you know, it's more than rumour now that he's going to be out, and it should be confirmed very soon. He was absent from the training session today, the open training session.
Yeah.
And the talk is he's out for 4 weeks, according to Mr. Guardian. So, yeah, I don't know.
Apparently, he's very well connected, that Guardian journalist at Selhurst Park. So,
okay, all right, good.
The word on the street.
Is he with the cheerleaders or something? Or I don't know. Has he got away?
I don't know whether he's with the cheerleaders or just simply being.
But even so, I think that yeah, he's going down in price. Well, he's going to go down in price at some point, if not tonight and another night. So it's that the fact that he's going to go down. He's going to keep going down because he's got high ownership, and if he's out for 3 or 4 weeks, then he's going to be red for a while. He's going to be protected to an extent, but he's going to lose value, and he misses his good fixtures. So the fixtures that we got him for, he'll miss those. So these are the factors. So that's fine. Let's go to Andy and see if he can guess. Do you want to guess both our exit plans, or are you going to go me or Granville first?
Now, do you know what? I've just realised you got 4 at the back. So I wondered if one of you was going to try and get enough money to get Mkhitaryan, but that would involve a hit game week.
Yeah, no, go on, keep going. You're very warm.
Because you were speaking about Mkhitaryan last week.
Yeah.
Is there a hit coming?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, he's going to rise this week. He looks good, and you mentioned him last week. I don't think Jonty will do the same thing.
No, I think Jonty's face.
I think
doing exactly the same. I can tell.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Jonty's going for a cheapo, I think.
I'm going. Listen. I'm going. Valencia to Jones and Zaha to Mkhitaryan. Because I just think, okay, Jones is playing. Lindelof's not going to be in the team for 3 or 4 weeks. I probably will get the one I'm looking at as an alternative to Jones is Dawson and getting that West Brom set piecer in. But I might get him in for Daniels next week after that, with Daniels getting a tricky run coming up. So I'm probably going to go Jones in tonight for Valencia to keep the United defence to cover. Jones did well in the BAPS. He topped the BPS for them. So, and I think he plays, and he's 5 million, and I pocket 0.5 as well. So I get Mkhitaryan in for Zaha. I keep the cover of the United defence, and I pocket 0.5. So I'll take a 4-point hit. But to be honest, at this stage in the season, for something like that, I know it's a 0-1. I'm chasing a 0-1, but it's a 0-2 really, because Zaha's going to go down. But yeah, I'm chasing. But I look at the alternatives, and Willian has got Spurs. I like Willian. He would have been my choice, but I think Mkhitaryan could be in for a special season at 8 million. We said it last week. I called Mkhitaryan and you nodded, Andy. I knew you had him anyway. I kind of sneaked in there. I knew he was your player, really. But I just think he's a player that Mourinho fancies, and he looked good. He looked good. He's taking set pieces, which are key, and he got the 2 assists. He only got 1 assist all season. He got 2 on Sunday. And he could have scored as well. So I think that's what I'm doing. Jonty, your reaction first to that, and then what you're up to.
I was tempted. My initial was Gabbiadini and out, and Zaha out, and replace Gabbiadini with Firmino, and go Liverpool double, and get the player I'm going to mention in as a Zaha replacement.
Can I have a go?
But I'm not going to do that.
Oh.
Can you have a go at me? Is that what you're going to do?
No. Can I have a go at what? Because Jonty sounds like he's downgrading. Is that right? In terms of price,
downgrading. Yeah.
So you're either going to go for Mui. Is that how you spell it?
Mooney, yeah.
That's how you spell it. Is that how you pronounce it? Sorry,
Moi, right?
Moi.
Oh, Moi.
Or possibly Atsu.
So it's going to be. There's a shiny golden Jason Puncheon statue being sent to Granville because he's got it right. Moi.
Yeah,
is the one I've got my eye on. Reason why we've been mentioning it a little bit, and we're going to mention it a bit. Set pieces are key. And I think they're particularly key for these, let's say, weaker sides. Now, he's got some good fixtures coming up. In fact, this is Huddersfield's kind of best period coming up. And what impressed me, there's 2 reasons I'm going for him. One is a strategic one. By selling Zaha for him, I get 1.5 in the bank. So that's going to come in handy. So I like the idea of saving a transfer last week. And I like the idea of having a kind of a mini wild card. So I'm essentially trying to do a bit of it early. Basically, I wanted to do a transfer where I got some flexibility the following week. So the following week, I could make 2 transfers and take a hit then when I've got much more information, or maybe take that in game week 4 and I've got even more information, and then use that 1.5 to, I don't know, invest somewhere. I really like to have Vardy, but he's gone up in price, and he's got a great fixture against my side, Brighton. Then it turns quite nasty for Leicester. So that's put me off. So I've just gone for Moi. Why? this is the reasons. He got 7 crosses against Palace. He got an assist from one of them. We've seen with Steve Mounier. He's a classic. I'd say he's a classic Championship striker. And they've got kind of Championship lower Premier League sides coming up against them. Not Southampton, they're more mid-table. And then he's got 7 corners against Palace. So corners are key there. So once again, I think they're going to have to rely on set pieces.
He could be on pens as well, couldn't he?
He could be on pens. I get interviewed on Radio Yorkshire every week on behalf of Fantasy Football Scout, and the DJ there, Andy, who does listen to this as well, is a Huddersfield fan. And even there, it's a bit up in the air who it's going to be. No one quite knows.
Could be Chris Louvre or
Louvre, or it could. Some of them even think it could even be Ince, but I think it's either going to be Moy or the defender there.
What impressed me with Moy is that he's more mobile than I thought. I thought he was a sitter. I thought he was a quarterback, but he gets around a bit as well.
No, he gets around a bit. He's really, quite pacey. So he's nailed on. I like that, obviously. So he's got Newcastle and Southampton at home, 2 home fixtures. West Ham away. So we've seen what happened with West Ham and Manchester United. And then Leicester at home, and then Burnley away. So it gets a bit trickier, but I think these are good fixtures. And I mentioned the new table on the block. This is the baseline bonus.
Here we go. Wait for it, Granville.
So in the baseline, this is, for those who don't know, baseline bonus is you strip away goals, clean sheets, assists. What are you left with? Basically, your everyday things. These are the guys you want because they're going to get you clean sheets if it's a kind of a really tight game. And if they can score and you can add these into it, they're looking at big bonus. And Moyes up there. You've got El Neni, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Kolasinac, Az's friend there, who's looking like could be this year's Alonso, and then there's Moy there, and then Nathan Ake, my mate there. So these are the people who just basically turn up, they do their stuff, they get those baseline bonuses.
They're full of actions, aren't they? Tackles, passes,
5.5, the whole lot. Save 1.5. If it doesn't work out, it's not like I spent 10 million.
I think it's a good move. Interesting one. So are you taking the hit this week or not?
No, not going to take a hit this week. I just don't feel I've got enough information, and also players are moving to and fro. We just don't know how it's going to work out. Chelsea are all over the shop at the moment. They're not going to stay all over the shop. Yeah. So, and Hazard's going to come back at some point. I'm going to need a bit of money for Hazard, I think.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to go around next because Mkhitaryan, where'd you stand on this? You weren't around last week, and me and Andy fancied him. We got a United fan in the house elsewhere with Granville. I'm taking a hit for him. Am I mad?
No, I mean, United in general just look incredible, don't they? I mean, that's the best I've seen them play in years. It looks like they've got everything going for them. Pogba in the middle just looks quality, takes the ball, drives it forward. They've got players sort of getting into the box, and I mean, it was against West Ham, so it's difficult to say, but I just think they're great. I mean, I don't think you should discredit Pogba. I think he's still a player who looks like he wants to step up this year and start getting in the goals and assists a bit more. He didn't pass the ball to Lukaku, so he could get his hat-trick at the end. He shot himself and scored. So he's obviously, he's probably getting a bit sick of everyone telling him that he doesn't do enough, and sort of finding the goal. So I think either of them are good. I think Zaha's an interesting one because there's not really anyone around his price range who you can kind of get around the 7 mark, 6.5 million midfielder mark. So I mean, I'm sort of championing them, and you've got 4 at the back as well, Mark. But actually, downgrading Zaha to a Loftus-Cheek or a Chalobah or a Tom Carroll or something like that could actually free up some funds in your defence. Let you get in Valencia, Walker, Alonso, Kolasinac, and then you've got a top 4, top 5 defender who's playing like a midfielder for cheaper than Zaha was. So. Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, I've already got Carroll and Fraser, so I've already got the 2 quite cheap midfielders there. I don't want to go a third. I don't want to do. I don't want to go too far with that. But I do like the idea of playing 4 at the back. I mean, even if I downgrade to Jones, I'll still have a 5-5, 2-5, and a 5-5 and 3 5 million defenders. So I'll have a lot of money still tied up in defence.
I think 5 at the back's a bit much, but 4 at the back, you can still, if you do want to go back to 4 in midfield, it's quite an easy switch.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I went for Valencia was that I knew he could be a bank for me because I thought, well, I can downgrade to Bailly for 0.5, and if Jones starts the season and there's noise that Lindelof won't get in, then I can downgrade right away to Jones. So it was part of my plan. I was going to do that for Alonso, but then I just didn't fancy it. I don't know why. I just didn't fancy it. And the fixtures to follow, the Burnley game. So I did it. I saw Valencia as my bank in case something like this happened, and so I'm going to do it because no point in planning for that and then not doing it. I could go Ramsey or Willian, but I think Mkhitaryan, I mean, he's only got to get another assist at Swansea, and then he's going to fly, isn't he? And it's that then I'm going to have to take a hit to get him in probably for 8-2. So I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it tonight. So Granville, what do you think about Mkhitaryan? What do you think about that? And what do you think about United generally?
United looked really good. They were only playing West Ham, and I think we've got to consider that. And actually, the week before, they played in the Super Cup against Real Madrid, and they looked pretty toothless. So it's one game. Let's just see. Let's just see how they do. I agree that it was a great performance, but I don't know. I mean, I think Mkhitaryan's obviously a good shout. He'd be my next United player who's going to get another one in. At the back, I'm not convinced so about Jazz because of his injury record, and I doubt that Mourinho's going to put him on corners like Van Gaal did. But yeah, I guess it's a good shout. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's all fine. Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason I'm going Jones is for these fixtures really. And I'm quite prepared for that I'll have to get rid of him at some point. But he's at a good price, $5 million. You're always going to have choice there.
And actually, I think he is actually better value than Valencia. I thought Valencia was 0.5 overpriced, to be honest with you. Well, because although he does get forward, he doesn't get that far forward. He hasn't actually delivered that many assists.
No, he delivered a lot of crosses, but he weren't converted. I think he will get more assists this season. I think he will probably deliver on that value, particularly if they ever revert to wing backs, which they were doing. But I think I had a look at the game, obviously on Sunday, and he didn't get forward as much as Blind, and Blind's another option, but he could be rotated with Darmian. So I think Jones is in. I think Jones started 16 of 17 matches that he was fit for last season. That's what I read. So when he's fit, Mourinho likes him, I think, and Lindelof isn't ready. He said that. So Jones will do me for 3 or 4 weeks, I think. But I'm prepared to have to get rid. But it means I can get Mkhitaryan. So
you're all in with United then? 3 United players.
I know, and I wasn't very pro United at all at the start of the season. I was even questioning Lukaku, but Sunday's performance just different level, wasn't it? And I know it was only West Ham, but they've got good fixtures to come. So it's only Swansea on this weekend. So they could easily put 2 or 3 past them. We'll see. No. We'll have to see. Okay, we're going to look at more questions. Premium midfielders, Jonty.
Okay, well, it's all part of the theme of like getting rid of players too soon or keeping them. And so Karen 14 asks, is KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, really a better option than Ali and Eriksen or even Mane? All 3 can match or even do better than him for 0.5 less. And then Koki Smurf asks, with Ali Eriksen, Salah, Mane and Mkhitaryan all looking good options, is KDB at least 0.5 too expensive? Can we go without him? And there's lots of things there. So Lego Mane as well, looking at that as well. And they're all looking at these kind of cheaper Manchester United midfielders. And they're looking at KDB's price tag and they're thinking, have we overspent here? Yeah, I mean, I would personally hold fire. I've got Kevin De Bruyne. I think he looked really dangerous against Brighton from an attacking point of view, not an assist point of view, but more of a goal point of view. So he had 4 goal attempts. A lot from range there, but yeah, that bodes well, really. He looked very attacking. I'm personally going to hold on to him for Everton. I think he's good. But looking at it, I'm starting to think if I'm going to use my 1.5 million from Moy anywhere, I'm thinking Eriksen is the one, because he did it again, as he's been doing all last season. Everyone raves about Ali. Look at Ali, look at that goal. Yeah. And then it's Eriksen quietly goes about racking up the assists and the bonus points, and he ends up yet again with another double-digit score. It just looks like a great fancy option. For me, it's all about going Dullard this season. That's why I'm looking at Moy. Next on my Dullard hit list, Eriksen, I think.
So how are you going to upgrade? Where are you going? Who to Eriksen?
Well, we don't know. But that's it. I've got flexibility. If I get that 1.5, so yeah, maybe I might decide KDB is too expensive.
Oh, right.
Game week 3, Eriksen have Burnley at home, so that's a nice switch. possibly.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I could do it is getting rid of Salah. I don't want to do that yet. I mean, I've got Kane, so I don't want to double up yet until I've seen what they do at home over a few games. I think, but Eriksen, yeah, I prefer him to Ali. Andy, what's your views on KDB? Like, I mean, it's a lot of money. We've tied it up. It's a bit like Valencia for me, isn't it? It's like it's a bank, right? If he doesn't deliver, we can downgrade, right? And we'll probably do that when we feel that he's going to go down in value. If he blanks another couple of games, he's going to be sold, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm already wavering on him because I just think that I made a mistake not getting Ali or Eriksen. And I know it's only been 1 week, but even like a double up on Liverpool, they look really good value. And I tweeted out before the game that we were going to be scrambling for Ali and Eriksen after that game. And I think that's the case. De Bruyne looked okay, but it was a lot of shots outside the box. He's really frustrating to watch because there's so many times you think just shoot and he looks for the pass. So I think for 10 million, he's going to have to do something pretty special against Everton for me. Otherwise, I'm going to probably double up on Spurs or Liverpool. I haven't decided which way yet. Given that Liverpool play, I think it's Man City and Arsenal in game week 3 and 4. It'll probably be Spurs with their fixtures. But it just looks like they're going to do the business again. And if Sissoko doesn't get played from the start, even better. Hopefully, Son will be back fit and be able to play more. I don't know. They started off slow against Newcastle, but when they got going, they looked much better. Yes, there's Wembley factor, I suppose. We can see what that's like against Chelsea. But yeah, I'm already wavering on De Bruyne. I'm not going to knee-jerk now. It's only game week 1. I'm happy to save a transfer and have a bit of flexibility next week. But yeah, I think he's going to go for me. I think he'd have to do something really special against Everton.
So, no, would that mean no City then for you?
Yeah.
Yep. But no City. But they're going to spread the points out, aren't they? I think. I think the points are going to be so spread between that team. Have I got space for Jesus and Aguero? Maybe if I want to get rid of Kane, which is something I've written about this week. But yeah, I think this is why I had KDB in the first place. I think I got sucked in by coverage for City.
No, of course.
Yeah, I'm pretty against just picking a player simply for coverage. Now, obviously, some of this is just for game week 1. This might all change in game week 2 when the opposite players score. But yeah, I'm really wavering on him. If I have to go about City, so be it. I don't have any Arsenal. I don't have any Chelsea. At some point, you just can't have everyone.
Okay,
especially with them having, everyone's so expensive in there.
Yeah, I can see it. He's got to deliver for 10 million. He can't go. Yeah. He can't blank 3 games in a row for 10 million for me. He's got to deliver something against Everton. If he doesn't against Everton, we'll see his price then probably drop, and then it'll be a test of our willpower where we get rid at that point. And Eriksen would be the go-to for me as well. But don't know. As views on KDB, I mean, Andy's wavering. There'll be a few more, I think, after Everton as well if he doesn't produce. How are you feeling about him?
Well, I think it was interesting. I did join quite a few draft leagues this year. For the first time in general, and first time FPL I've done it. And every single list I made of players I wanted, Ali and Eriksen were ahead of De Bruyne because I thought they'd score more points than them. But I've gone for De Bruyne in my team, and like Andy says, the reason is because I want to watch a City game and have a player in it in case they get 6-7 goals and feel like I've got a player who's going to get some points. When actually KDB, he isn't worth 10 million. I don't think you'd never captain him.
Now you tell us.
Yeah, I know, but it's obvious when you write it down. But you've always got that thought in your mind saying City and Pep 6-7 goals, 8 goals. They could go absolutely ballistic in one game. And
and the thing is, he hit the woodwork 9 times, right? And he got 21 assists. He's still got 6 goals, so he's got 10 goals and 20 assists in him. That is incredible. So he can do it. And I think we're being a bit hasty.
He's just a brilliant player. And obviously I'm happy to have him, but it's just when you look at the 2 players around him who are Ali and Eriksen, who time and time again are scoring, assisting, getting bonus. They're absolute machines, those 2. And you look at it now and you think, well, why haven't I got one of those in my team? They're the perfect fantasy football players. And De Bruyne is so hit and miss. He's not a perfect fantasy football player. He's too maverick. He's the anti-Jonty of FPL. Whereas a nice, consistent Ali. Yeah,
but I think the way it worked with Ali and Eriksen is we were like, well, Spurs have got a away game at Newcastle, home game at Chelsea, and we think Kane would be the preferred option. So if we get Kane, are we going to double? And I think it's fair enough. The reservations are there. It's obvious why, the logic of it.
And we still don't really know how they're going to be at Wembley. We haven't seen them against.
No.
The Chelsea game will be key. I mean, I'm not taking KDB out or anything. I'm not saying he's not a great option. I'm just. it's interesting that none of us here have got Ali or Eriksen when we know how good an option they are and
I think Granville's got someone. I think Granville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, going to you next, Granville. Go on. Where are you feeling? Have you got KDB first?
Well, the thing is, you've all got KDB, haven't you? I haven't got KDB, but I got Jesus instead. And I think it sounds to me like you'd all decided at the beginning of the season that you were going to get Kane and Lukaku, and there was just no room for a City striker. And the only way you could get crowbarring a City player is to have KDB because there's no one else. I mean, I was thinking that myself, and I was going to get Sterling. This was like a few weeks into. When FPL first started, and a few weeks ago, and then I noticed that he wasn't going to. It was doubtful that he was going to start. So I thought there's nowhere else to go in the City midfield. I did actually want 2 City players. I was always going to get one of the strikers, and I just thought that KDB is a great player and everything, but there are better options in midfield. And so I did. Quite late on, I did have him in there. I did switch him for Ali. It was either another Liverpool midfielder or a Spurs midfielder. But I was in a position where I decided I wasn't going to have Kane because I just didn't feel that I could have Kane and a City striker and Lukaku. So it was just made a lot easier for me.
Yeah, I think I'll put it to you this one though. If Lukaku goes and scores a couple of goals at Swansea, I think Kane will go out of a lot of teams because we ain't going to captain Kane. We'll be scared not to captain Lukaku.
No. And there are so many different options to captain anyway. I think.
Well,
I don't think I mean, at the minute, I think there are in my team. I mean, this week I'm probably going to captain Salah because I just think he has the best fixture.
Yeah,
it is a bit of a risk.
just played tonight, though, didn't they?
Sorry,
Liverpool just played tonight, and so leggy and all that. I don't know. I can see. I personally think the Kane and Lukaku. When Kane is for me top captain material, Lukaku, is he at that level yet? Well, if he scores at Swansea and starts showing that he can do it home and away, then
it's the fixtures, really, isn't it? I mean, United and City have the best fixtures, I think, over the first few weeks, in my opinion. Right. Particularly City. I mean, I don't know how you could get rid of De Bruyne and leave yourself with no City players. It'd have to. It'd probably have to be a trade, 2 transfers to get another City player in. That's what I would have thought. I think you'd be risking it not to have any City players.
Andy wants to get in here. I think my point is, I think the turning point in KDB will be if Lukaku does well against Swansea and looks like a captain every week. We don't need Kane, and then it's Kane to Jesus, KDB out without any issues. Whereas at the start of the season, we were looking at it going, we don't know if Lukaku is going to be our captain every week. Is he at that level? I was thinking Kane's up above Lukaku at the moment. But if Lukaku and if United look good at Swansea, if they look like they're going to go for goals like they did on Sunday, away from home as well as at home, like Spurs do, then I don't know if I would put the armband on Kane if I got Lukaku at the moment. So it's all going to depend this weekend how Kane shows up and how Lukaku shows up. Obviously we need more data. Andy, you're itching to get in, I think. What were you going to say?
Yeah, only to agree, really. I was looking at this like straight after game week 1, and I know people say it's a knee jerk or whatever, and they make it out like I don't think Kane's ever going to score a goal again. But I think we said it pre-season that at 12.5 million, just like Aguero last year, you have to question his value at that price. And when I see Firmino, who got 11 goals, 11 assists last year, now has penalties for 4 million less, then that's the difference between Kane and Gabbiadini or Firmino and like Jesus. And suddenly I think that second combo is better. Now, obviously that's a risk. Like if Kane smashes a hat-trick against Burnley, I'm obviously going to be a lot less likely to want to get rid of him. But let's just say he's only scoring a goal a game or something. Then I think you do have to take into consideration, especially if you're happy to captain Lukaku, that Kane is possibly someone that you can get rid of from your side. Now, he's going to be consistent. He's going to score 20 goals or whatever this season. But is that 4 million over someone like Firmino worth it? I'm not sure it is. Especially, I'm already looking, like you were talking about 4-man defences and stuff. I already want to get money out of my defence because it's Ali, Eriksen, double up on Liverpool, Man United are looking good, Jesus. I just don't know if Kane long term is going to have a place in my team. That's too early to say right now if I'm going to get rid of him. But I seriously think that's a serious consideration in a few weeks.
Yeah, for me, it's the armband. If you're not going to, I want Kane because I think having Kane as captain is better than anybody else. But if Lukaku's matching him for the captaincy or beating him, I might as well not have Kane, because I'm losing out, aren't I? Because Lukaku's cheaper and everyone's got him. 50% of the game's got him. So I'm not gaining any advantage by captaining Kane unless he outscores Lukaku. And Lukaku looked good enough where he could keep pace of him, but we've got to see away from home. We've got to see other opponents other than West Ham, of course.
I think the argument goes both ways, though. If you think that Kane's going to outscore Lukaku, then you can just keep Kane and get rid of Lukaku. I just think the long term having both of them is probably not worth as much as splitting that funds elsewhere.
I think getting rid of Kane, you've got the Ali Eriksson fullback, whereas with Lukaku, you're looking at Mkhitaryan, who I'm going to get in, but I'm not thinking Mkhitaryan's a season keeper. Ali and Eriksson would be, I think.
I just looked at different comment. Like, again, this is a bit of a knee jerk from game week 1, but you got Vardy's just scored, Firmino both 8.5. That frees up about 2 or 3 million, I think, to midfield. So then you've got 4 heavy hitters in midfield, plus Vardy, Firmino, and one Lukaku. Kane. I don't know. We'll see in a few weeks if I change my tune. But I think it's next to look.
Vardy, your maths is extraordinary, Andy. You've managed to roll that one out quickly.
I think that's probably better maths. It is, because Kane to Firmino is 4 million. Yeah. Gabbiadini to Vardy is 1.5, so 2.5 left for midfield. So you Zaha owners, straight away that's Ali or Eriksson, and I don't know. That just sounds good in my head. Maybe not so good on paper.
I can hear people on the site screaming, "Oh, that's it, knee jerk, get Kane out next week." They're saying Kane's amazing. I can see it now. I can see the words being typed. It's on my retinas now. But it's one of these seasons, Jonty. It's exactly the same as last season. We've got to move quickly on these heavy hitters. Yeah. We cannot keep faith with a heavy hitter who's not producing if there's better value elsewhere. It's how I played last season. I think I've got to play it this way this season as well. We can't be loyal to these players if they're not producing.
Yeah, I mean, and we've mentioned with KDB, it's his price. Same with Kane as well. Looking at the old goals imminent table, though, top of the pile, it's Harry Kane. There he is. Yeah. Goal attempts, 5 in the box as well. Just 1 on target. He was close, though. That's not getting rid of material.
No.
I wasn't seeing Harry Kane on there. If Harry Kane was piling in with 1 goal attempt, then I'd say off you pop, mate. But there's no way he's going. But then second to him is Eriksson. We mentioned Eriksson can rack up a double-digit score and seemingly as the invisible man. But meanwhile, he had the same amount of goal attempts. So he's matching Kane for goal attempts there. Plus, he managed to get half of them on target as well. So he's actually performing better as a goal scorer than Harry Kane. Both blanked.
Wow. I think that...
For me, I picked Harry Kane and Lukaku. And I don't have enough information yet to ditch either of them. I think Lukaku I think he could be the Golden Boot winner this year, the way Manchester United have started, but we haven't seen him away. We'll get that information this weekend. I can have that information at hand and think, well, maybe Lukaku isn't so good away. Maybe I won't captain him away and he's only for home. And I'll have a bit more information about Harry Kane. He scored against Chelsea. I believe he scored 4 goals out of the 8 times he's faced Chelsea. So... he's not like they're a team that he cannot score against.
Oh, no. I
want to see him at Wembley. I want to see him racking up another 5-6 goal attempts. If he scores, great. I'm not actually looking at whether he scores. I'm looking at whether he can keep hammering in the goals attempts, because he's got the Golden Boot for the last 2 seasons. If he can put away 5 to 6 goal attempts every match, I'm not going to be getting rid of him.
No. Oh, okay, but the question here, though, is what if Lukaku gets a brace at Swansea and Kane blanks against Chelsea? Game week 3 is Burnley at home. Are you going to go straight and put the armband on Kane, or are you going to be worried that you've got Lukaku sitting there? We saw Kane draw a blank against Burnley last season.
Yeah.
That's where the concerns are going to be.
The way I look at that is I've got 2 excellent choices for the captaincy. I actually think that they'll both prosper, and I'll get 20-odd points from one, 10-odd points from one. And we've seen it so many times last season. We go, oh, Kane, well, it was like Kane against Lukaku or Kane against so-and-so. Or chances are they often get exactly the same. So I like to have both of them as well at the moment.
Yeah, but
Eriksson, as I've said, ideally, I want to be getting Eriksson, Kane, Lukaku.
Yeah, I just think the paying over the odds for Kane, I agree, it's too expensive perhaps. You do it because of the captaincy. For me, that's why I do it. And so, unless he is the best captain by quite a margin, like if Lukaku, like for Everton, for Lukaku, wasn't scoring away from home, so we couldn't put the captaincy on him away from home. But if we see a different Lukaku at United, where he's scoring home and away, I think it does change my attitude to Kane.
Yeah, I mean, I think my reluctance to kind of come down is because we're hypothesising over what could happen. This weekend, we'll have some more information about how Kane does at Wembley. We'll have some more information about how Lukaku does against a weaker side away from home. And that's great. We can take that information on board. And then, you know, by game week 3 or 4, we can maybe process that and go, well, hang on a minute. I'm just going to get Eriksen in. Yeah. That's my Spurs coverage.
That's fine. Granville will tell you, I love a bit of hypothesis, love a bit of speculation.
I mean, they could both get hat-tricks in game week 3.
Yeah.
You know, just because you're captaining Lukaku doesn't mean...
I think they're going to be this season top scorers as they were last season.
Well, that's not a shot in the dark, is it? But the thing is, it's
that's what you pay for.
The gap between Kane and Jesus in terms of points needs to be significant enough to justify the 2 million, and that's the other thing. I don't know. There's so many factors here. My point is, we can't just sit on Kane and go season keeper if Lukaku is matching him. I think that changes the game a little bit for me because of the Eriksen alley thing. We'll see. I'm sure there's going to be a negative reaction to all of this, but that's all I'm saying. So game week 2, very important. But, you know, I'd like to take 2 transfers into that. I'm not going to be able to do that. Premium forwards, we've got questions. We've touched on it already, but is there anything more we need to look at here, Jonty?
Well, we're looking at... Well, yeah, I mean, we've mentioned Kane, really. I mean, he is the premium forward that people are looking at and thinking, well, maybe. I mean, I just wanted to go looking at Lukaku as well, just going back slightly to midfielders, because is Pogba or Mkhitaryan an option if you want to get rid of Lukaku? So say Lukaku isn't delivering away from home. He just can't do it for some reason. I don't think that's going to happen, but say he's not. So I think you need to be looking at those alternatives as well. And I know that I think Andy's been having a look at Mkhitaryan and Pogba stats as well. And I've been having a little look at Pogba because we were thinking that Pogba may be going forward much more with Matic. And I had a look at his stats compared to last season.
Yeah.
Jury's still out, I think. But,
yeah, I looked at it, yeah.
But so he's averaging 28.7 touches in the final thirds last season. Versus West Ham, it was 27, so it was actually less. So he was less involved in that final third. But the big change was his dribbling and take-ons. They were really up, so he was really going for it. And he was, in fact, double. So he was, instead of doing a pass to another attacking player, he was carrying on running. Now, that's an interesting thing I want to see much more of. And then his penalty to area touches were up ever so slightly. And his goal attempts were actually the same. So he's not quite there yet. But I really like the fact that his dribbling and take-ons have gained really much forward. This is another key thing. He didn't make any tackles. So what's clear is compared to making lots of tackles last season, he's not doing anything. So he's leaving that up to Matic. So the signs are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Pogba, now, no one's mentioning Pogba. He did score, and everyone's going Mkhitaryan mad. And I'm not disputing that Mkhitaryan isn't a great option. I just wonder whether Pogba may be the better option.
Yeah, but it was a 4-0 win against West Ham, and his stats still didn't show a massive leap. So let's see what he does away from home.
But they did show a massive leap in terms of his gameplay. It was completely different. He was dribbling and running at
in
players.
Some areas, yeah.
So he, instead of passing the ball to someone else to assist or score, he was taking it on himself. I mean, it's one game into the season, so this is why all about information. After next week, away to Swansea, we'll have that little bit more information.
What do you think, Mkhitaryan or Pogba? I mean, do you buy into this Pogba renaissance?
Yeah, I said earlier, I don't think it's quite as clear cut as everyone seems to be going Mkhitaryan. I mean, Pogba's already 25% ownership or something, so he's not exactly a differential. But I like him, and I thought I agree with Jonty. I think he looks more like he wants to score this year. Even if the stats don't completely back it up, he just seems to be a bit more selfish with what he's doing with the ball. And yeah, I think they're both really good options. The one thing about Pogba is he's a bit more nailed on, because the problem with Mkhitaryan is you've got Lingard knocking about, you've got Mata who can play there, you've got Martial who's probably going to come back and there's quite a few players who can play around there, whereas Pogba is going to play every minute of the Prem.
And we also don't know who's on penalties. I don't think we do anyway.
Got to be Lukaku.
We assume it's Lukaku. We all say it's got to be, but Paul Pogba was next in line last season.
No way. He wants the golden boot. He's got to be on penalties, isn't he?
You would think so, but we don't know.
No, so he will.
There is a player who's being overlooked and has not been mentioned. The United players, Marcus Rashford. Now I know it would mean a second United forward, but at that price, you never know. I mean, if he becomes nailed on, he could be in that position who knows? He could be an option.
Yeah,
he certainly could be.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we'll just have to see what happens.
I think the Mkhitaryan and Pogba thing is going to go on a bit. I mean, we've got it in so many teams. We've got it in Liverpool. We've got it in Spurs. It's head-to-head situation. My take on it is Mkhitaryan's the best number 10 that they've got. I don't know how Andy feels or Granville about this, but I think you talk about Mata and Lingard. They're not that number 10, I don't think. Mata can play there, but I just think that Mata's been used out wide so often by Mourinho. I don't think he sees him as a number 10 for some reason. And I think he settled on Mkhitaryan. I mean, it looks that way. But, you know, they're the same price. I don't think, I mean, Pogba ownership is higher. I think that makes Mkhitaryan more attractive at the moment. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's going to be nip and tuck between those two, I think. But I just think the creativity-wise, Mkhitaryan's got the edge. And he's got goals in him. We saw he got 6 in 11 starts in Europa League. So he can keep pace of the goals. Andy, I guess you endorse that, do you? You're going Mkhitaryan over Pogba. You got him already, so...
Yeah, I think I said last week. I think for the same price, if you think they're both going to play, you choose Mkhitaryan every time. I don't even think it's a contest really. And actually, what we haven't mentioned, which do really quick before we move on, is it was very interesting that Herrera didn't play and Mata played. That actually meant that if you check the heat maps, Pogba and Matic actually picked the ball up in virtually the same kind of position in defence, but one was one side, one was the other, because Mata was the one that was allowed to go forward or more, and Mkhitaryan was even more forward again. So Mkhitaryan for me, no question.
Yeah, I mean, where's Herrera going to fit in? Surely Herrera's going to come back in, isn't he? Away from home, he'll play.
Exactly.
So Mata's going to drop out, I would have thought, isn't he?
Yeah,
pretty much. And then Mkhitaryan's probably going to play, and then it'll be Rashford, Lingard, or Martial on the other side, I'd say.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we haven't mentioned Rashford. Was he 6 million? Is he 6.5?
7.5. Granville got him in
7.
Yeah.
He's 7.5. I thought he was 7. Okay, that's it's slightly overpriced.
Yeah,
actually.
I thought he was cheap.
He needs to be nailed on, really. It has to be nailed on, and at that point, then it can become value. And the thing is, he was just so involved in that whole game, but he does get taken off a lot. He will get taken off early. That's another reason why maybe you have to think long and hard about getting him. But I agree with you. I think Mkhitaryan is the best choice.
Okay, let's last question before we move on to the weekend preview. Rumour mill asked about Firmino, John. You know, he's doubling up on Liverpool.
Yeah. So I'll just move down to that segment. So Rumour, what of Firmino? Should we double up on Liverpool with Firmino with one of Salah and Mane? So he's not saying Firmino instead of Salah and Mane. He's saying both. Yeah, I mean, I've said that I was tempted, and I feel I have. Talking about getting more information, I kind of feel I've got enough information about Liverpool. I think I've got their number, and I think a lot of people have really. And what was interesting, so Salah, he was the most attacking. He had the most shots inside the box, and he was often fielded, so in a much more central role. Firmino was in fact going out wide. So Firmino's a kind of floating around kind of utility man up front. But Firmino's got those penalties, and he's also got bonus on his side as well. And as we saw, so if he can score, because he's quite good with the baseline bonus as well, he is going to get those.
Yeah, he was the top forward for baseline, wasn't he?
Whereas Salah, he had 5 shots inside the box, he only had 1 on target. So immediately he just starts chipping away at his baseline bonus, and there it goes down. And as we saw, he did sneak a bonus in. Really, with a goal and assist compared to just a goal from him, he should have been really, he should have really been.
Well, it's a goal and assist each, but Firmino's got
goal and assist each. But I just felt that, I thought, why did Firmino get the 3 bonus and not Salah? Well,
so, shots on target.
It's shots on target. So, and then Mane's there, and we go back to price as well. And Mane's 9.5, so he's at 0.5 more, and already people are starting to look at price. I don't think Mane can compete if Salah's carrying on as he is. I think those of us that picked Salah have done okay. I did think the opposite when Mane's goal went in, but that's why I think Firmino does such a different role, and I think he gets a different type of points. He gets those bonus points, and penalties for Liverpool are key. And people say, just penalties.
They'll get loads of penalties.
With Liverpool, it's absolutely key. Remember that season? Was it Gerrard got 10 penalties?
Yeah. And they got 8 last season. They got 8 last season.
They get 8 last season. They get penalties because they've got players like Firmino, Salah, Mane, and previously Lallana. They've got tricky players that get into the box and they get fouled by weak defenders. And there you go. There's your penalty.
Yeah,
that's why I think.
Andy, you like Firmino, don't you? So you seriously consider getting him in?
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I didn't probably get him in before the season started was because I didn't know 100% if he was going to be on those penalties. I think, like you say, it's going to make a big difference. Honestly, he's one of the reasons why I even considered even slightly ditching Kane. I just think he offers so much value at that price, and then lets you get in another premium forward to have 3 plus a really good midfield. So I like Mane as well, but I think I'd rather have that Mane spot for Eriksen or Ali, and then Firmino can just take a spot up front. So yeah, I'm all for him, and I think, like Johnny said, Liverpool look like, obviously, again, it's only one game, but they look like they're not going to be able to defend. They're going to have to go and score 3 goals, and they're quite capable of doing it week in, week out. So I'm all for double Liverpool attack. How quickly I do it with with City and Arsenal, I know they, sometimes play better against big teams, but I still probably don't want to invest this early. But after game week 4, I'm probably all in for Firmino, I think.
As, do you not think Coutinho's a factor here, though? I mean, do you not think that's going to hang over them in terms of, do we think they're going to be affected by it? Firmino today is going, I don't even want to talk about him leaving. It's too horrible to even think about. So we don't know, do we? One thing we can't track with stats is what's going on across the team. And Coutinho departing will be a factor, won't it? Yeah,
you think so. I mean, if he stays, it makes all their attackers an even better option. But I mean, it looks pretty likely he's going to go, doesn't it? And they just haven't got anyone who can kind of replace what he does, because he's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, just to mention Salah again quickly, we talk about knee jerking, and I mean, Twitter and the Fantasy Football Scout website, after the first 45 minutes of
it's brilliant.
It was just, I reckon if half the people could have taken him out at half time for anyone else, they would have done.
He was bad first half.
Oh, he was terrible. But it just shows that you've got to keep a bit of faith in these players that we've spent all pre-season, looking at, and he's highly owned for a reason, because he's an electric player. So I just think a bit of patience with him, and just wait and see.
Maybe that's what we need with all players, though. I mean, way we're talking tonight, we're not patient at all, but I think we will be in reality. Granville, your thoughts on Firmino? I mean, double up on Liverpool, is it too cheeky without Coutinho?
We don't know exactly. I mean, I think if he goes, I think it's going to be a right downer for that club, because he's a talisman. I'm just going to. I mean, I did consider, because I've got Josh King up front, and there's only 1 million more to get Firmino. It's just that, where do I cut into the rest of my team to make space for him? There's no one else at the minute who I want to ditch. If Alonso doesn't produce, then probably that way. Yeah. But he would be the bank. But I'd like to keep. We were talking about that word coverage again, and I'd like to keep a Chelsea player, because I think they're not going to play like that every week, are they? The goals are going to come from somewhere, and Alonso is just he's so attacking. He's gonna and he did actually have I think he had a free kick, so he is going to be. I'm not sure that I want to chuck him or Kolasinac, who's did really well in the first game. There's nowhere for me to go really to actually clear the funds, so I'm just going to hold fire at the minute. But I will consider Firmino.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I covered him as well, but I don't know. I don't think I can do it yet. My first priority is the Zaha plan, and then we'll see from there. Weekend preview then, let's do it. We'll come to you first, Andy, on the clean sheets. I'll let you have the first pick this week. Go on, off you go.
Yeah, I think it's pretty tough this week. I'm going to back my double Southampton defence to keep a clean sheet at West Ham. I think West Ham aren't as good as their transfers look. As in the players they brought in.
Okay, and as your clean sheet?
Well, I'll take the only one that I think is obvious, but it could always go wrong. I'll take United against Swans. Just seems like a good decision. Their defence is pretty solid. Swans I
think Tammy will score in that. I've got a feeling. I would say that I own him, but I don't think I'm going to get much. That's why I'm wavering on Jones a bit. I might go Dawson yet, but I will see in a minute. Jonty, your clean sheet.
Have we had Leicester Brighton yet?
No, we haven't.
Right, Leicester against my team Brighton. Brighton were worse than they were at home away last season. They don't score much, and they concede a lot in comparison to their home form. I just can't see them. I think they're a bit all over the shop in attack. They haven't sorted themselves out yet, and they could be going into that match with Hamed or Murray up top against the likes of Maguire.
Yeah, Knockout will start. I think. I don't know.
Knockout could start, but if he hasn't got, I just I think, I mean, it might be a slight bias because my team, so I kind of expect them to get hammered. But I just think that Leicester have got enough to keep them at bay.
Okay. Granville, where are you going, clean sheet?
I think I can't see Watford scoring at Bournemouth, so I don't know how Gray will play. I mean, he only played half a game, didn't he? And he'll be their main man. They, last season they struggled. I think they're going to struggle again actually to score goals. And Bournemouth are pretty good at home. I know they do let in the odd goal here and there, but I do fancy him to keep a clean sheet and be playing Ake.
Yeah, no, I could be. I could be an open game there. It should be goals in it, but yeah, it could easily be a clean sheet. I mean, Bournemouth were effective early season at home. And with Ake, and they got them, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to go. Well, what's left? Blimey, I'll go Burnley, West Brom. I just think Tony will play for a 0-0, might get it. And it's set up for Heaton. I think Heaton's going to be in the picks, so I'm going to be pushing him in the picks. I think it's a good game for him. Set pieces, as long as Sean Dyche can defend set pieces. Sean Dyche's one of the best managers in the league. He'll know what he's doing. He'll get them drilled to work with that. If West Brom can't score set piece, I don't know where the goal's going to come. So I'll go for Burnley. So a few there, I think. A few. Fancy on risk. I'll go first. I'm going to stick with Burnley, and I'm going Robbie Brady, who had a good game against Chelsea. Nicked him. You'll have to have a rethink. I'll come to you last. I read the report. Someone went to the game and we hot topicked it, and he picked out Robbie Brady. I'd already spotted him in the stats. Hit the post, of course. And I think if Burnley are going to nick this, it will come via him. Maybe not to score it, but maybe from a set piece, as we've seen. So I'm going to go Robbie Brady 5-5 as my fancy on risk. Andy, yours?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a fullback this week. I should probably go for Trent Arnold-Alexander, but I'm going to go for Moreno. I've got a soft spot for him.
Yeah.
4.5 million. I'm sure it was against Spurs one game where he scored, and he almost felt like he was as far forward as Alonso is as a wing back, even though he shouldn't be.
He's got a touch of the Kolovs in him, hasn't he?
Yeah, I really like it. He's a big favourite of Apple Bonkers as well. He loves him. So yeah, I'm going to go for him. I think Liverpool are going to beat Palace. I don't think Palace. There's no clean sheet there for them. So yeah, Moreno for me, attacking fullback, 4.5 million.
He's in my scout squad, Jonty, by the way. So I'm pushing for him. Yeah. Granville, your fancy on risk?
I'm going to go for Christian Atsu because I backed him at the beginning of the season. I think he looks really dangerous. He could have scored actually at the weekend, and I think Huddersfield. I think that's a one-off. I think they're going to struggle this season, and I think Newcastle are going to do them.
I think we know who Jonty's going to go for in the same game.
Yeah, Wijnaldum.
I thought you were going Aaron Moy. Okay, go on.
No, I'm going to go. I never pick a player that I'm about to get in.
Okay.
Because they're mixed up. But I'm going for Wijnaldum here. I just think that this game is tailor-made for it. Palace are absolutely all over the shop when it comes to their formation. They're going to get better, but they just can't get used to it yet. Meanwhile, that's absolute joy for the Liverpool midfielders to come into the box and either get fouled and get an assist for a penalty or score. Wijnaldum he did very well at home. He's got he's one of those
players you can't predict when he's going to strike, can you? He's not a player you'd get in and keep, I don't think. And he's not a player you can gamble on. So he's never going to be a fancy asset where he plays.
Which is why he's a great fancy island risk. Because we're all talking about Salah, we're talking about Firmino. Meanwhile, Wijnaldum comes in and he'll be the one to get the double-digit score for the home game against Palace.
Maybe. Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we want to see Liverpool at home and see how Salah and Mane work there and see how Firmino does. Because they are different. They play differently away from home, for sure. And it's a good game for them. Palace don't look ready, do they? And they got injuries now, obviously with Zaha, and that's going to affect them all over the pitch. I thought he's so influential. Okay, captains, let's do this.
I've got my pick.
Oh yes, sorry, Az. Go on. Have you got one ready?
Stole my Robbie Brady, who got some stats on him. Just
go on, roll them out anyway. 3
chances created, a shot every 22 minutes against the champions. Good pick. Can't have him because he was nicked.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So I'll go for the player who's on corners against Liverpool, which is my mate PVA.
You think? Well, Scott Dan could score, couldn't he? On the set pieces.
A couple of assists for PVA, a couple of goals for Dan. I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, Liverpool can't defend them. Klopp says, Watford gave away chances and set pieces, and no one talks about them being bad at them. But Liverpool were bad at them. The thing is, I don't think De Boer. He's not going to play like that, though. He's not going to play. He's not like Allardyce who'll go, right, let's expose that weakness. Let's go after it. De Boer will want to win in an attractive way. So I don't know if Palace will go for set pieces. We'll have to see. Okay, captains. We'll come to you first, Andy. Is this all going to be Lukaku across the board?
Yeah, I mean, I did consider Salah very, very briefly. But I think yeah, it's got to be Lukaku. Like you saw all the goals he scored last year. We've already discussed he might be on penalties. United look good. We'll see how they are from away from home. But there's just no one else on my side that I even slightly want a captain, to be honest, apart from Salah. But it's not close.
And Granville, to you.
It's the first game, isn't it? United. That's what really,
true.
It concerns me. And the Monday night game, the City playing Monday night, they'll have to wait two days until City play and then say, "Oh, should have captain Jesus." I mean, as I said before, I'm thinking of captain Salah. Is it too early to take a risk like that? Probably, but I'm a bit of a sucker for it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Okay, wavering. Okay, John, to yourself.
I'm actually undecided, and Granville's nailed it there. And as on our YouTube chat, Jonathan Fleetwood mentioned, he said KDB Monday Night Football, and that's what I'm thinking. And it's,
don't pick your captain based on the.
I know it's anti-Dullard, isn't it? But I'm looking at that. I'll be happy if Lukaku scores. Obviously, I own him, but it's just so tempting. KDB. So it's between those two, 50-50 at the moment. And it's the away thing as well. We don't know. It's unknown.
Yeah, no. You going straight Lukaku as?
I'm currently on Kane.
Right.
I just think Chelsea, while Chelsea are this bad and they've got this many suspensions, no bench, Tottenham looking all right. Kane is good. Like although all the slagging off we've given him, he looked good and he loves a goal against Chelsea.
Yeah.
So at the moment it's on him, but I don't know. Lukaku is just.
It's tough. It is tough. If I wasn't taking a hit, I would be tempted to gamble a little bit on Kane or Salah maybe, or KDB. But because I'm taking the hit, I think I've got to consolidate and go Lukaku because that's where the masses are going to go again. There'll be 29. There was 29% on him. I think 28% on him. And I think it'll be similar this time around. It might even be more. So I think I've got to cover it just in case. I don't know how he's going to perform away from home. I think there's an element of risk, but because I'm going to take a hit, which I'm probably going to do in an hour or two, I might have to do it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, maybe I thought that was cut and dry, but it's not, Andy. That's surprising.
It is. And they'll all next week, I guarantee you.
Are they just teasing us?
The Monday night and early fish thing always comes into play, but I like to choose my captain before I even check the times. And then I only ever usually find out from someone else that it's early. So I didn't even know Man United was early until I was going to select Lukaku no matter what time he played. But yeah, no, at least 4 out of 5 of us will captain Lukaku.
Thing is, I've got Mkhitaryan and Jones for a hit, and Lukaku captain. If United let me down,
that's away from home. Yeah, I mean the first game you got 3 United and 1 captain. Oh, that's all in. That is
all in, right? And if they let me down first game, my weekend's ruined before game 1. It's
You'll be fine.
I'm gonna have to. Really? I have to lie down now and think about this. Okay. Thanks for joining us, Granville. Again, thank you for joining us. It was great to have you back. It was a 5-star Scoutcast there, 5 of us for once, and it went very well. Good Scoutcast, gentlemen. It's a good night for me.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all.